Alright, chat. We're here. I've done a... Nah, I always go on the spiel. I haven't done a video in a while. I'm not even gonna bother doing that. We know. I've explained it a million times. So one of my friends shared this video in our group chat. And, you know, I was like, I don't really want to watch it. But he was like, man, you gotta watch it, you gotta watch it. And then I said, you know what, fine, maybe I'll record a reaction to it as well. And he was like, yes, please. And I'm like, okay. So here we are. Now this is a video by Morale. It was uploaded 12 hours ago. Me and Morale, you know, listen. I'm gonna say this right before I get into the video. I genuinely have no beef with anyone. And like in person, like IRL. Like any of the people I've played Rumble with or whatnot or against, I don't have any problems with them IRL. Now, the way they play the game, I have a problem with. Because some of these people play the game as toxically, as unfun as humanly possible, in my opinion anyway. So, he would be one of them. And so, you know, sometimes you like hit a game, you're like, oh my god, this guy is terrible. I hate him. Like, you know, that type of thing. But, I mean, again, IRL, no problems. The way he plays the game, that's a different story. So, I've been meaning to do a video talking about the issues of the game and things I could see improving. The reason I haven't is because the game has been doing a lot better recently. And I always am making negative videos and negative comments on this game. So I kind of wanted to just, you know, let people enjoy it. Let people, you know, let it simmer. You know, I thought they were doing good, so I was like, nah, I don't need to complain, you know. But there's obviously still issues and things that need fixed, and I'm sure some of these things will be brought up in this 56-minute video. So grab your popcorn. Yes, I'm watching the whole thing. I don't care. What are you gonna do about it? I don't make money off of this anyway. But yeah, I'll put a link to Morale's video in the description. Go sub to him, like him, because clearly he puts way more effort in his videos than I do. So yeah. Alright, so let's see.
What's up, you guys? And today we're gonna be making a different type of video today. I saw Charismatic Demon make this type of video a little bit ago, so I wanted to give my personal take on the subject and just to spread awareness about the situation.
I think Charismatic Demon is a console YouTuber? I think. I don't really watch Rumble players, I'm gonna be honest with you. I know names because they get thrown around and because, you know, I play games. Like, I know games from just, like, high up people in the game itself. And then a couple names from, like, streamers and whatnot, like Ronan. But I don't really watch it. I don't really watch YouTube or streams that much anyway. So, yeah, anyway.
And just kind of rant a little bit. So, I'm going to put some gameplay in the back and just relax and just, you know, just listen to me just talk about everything I think is wrong with My Hero Ultra Rumble. And to provide some backstory to the title, around a few years ago, I think it was a YouTuber called Afro Senju, then a YouTuber named Globeku, made a hashtag for a specific video game called Shinobi Striker, and Afro Senju made it for Storm 4, and I'm going to do the same for MHUR. You guys can either choose to spread this hashtag around, you can choose to follow it, make your own content, whatever. But I just think that this game has gone on for long enough with these issues, and it needs to be talked about and it needs to be addressed. Eventually that hashtag that I talked about caught on, and the games that had that hashtag were fixed somewhat. So Yeah, the game is currently in a very buggy state and a very buggy, unbalanced mess that I think it needs to be addressed and properly dealt with. Now, remember, you don't have to necessarily agree with all of my takes. It's all subjective. Everything about I say is personal, but I know some points that some people are definitely going to agree with. So, anyways, let's get into it. So, first, I'm going to talk about tuning. Tuning is a brand new system, a brand new perk system that was added to Rumble, I think around Season 8. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But it is a system that you can add perks to your character, enhancements, and different things to make your character different than other people. You can add defense tunes, you can add extra reload speed.
I hate tuning. I stand by this statement to this day. I don't like tuning. This game did not need tuning. There is, because the whole point of tuning is to add more variety to the gameplay. Guess what? There's like a million My Hero characters that they can add to the game to add variety to the gameplay. Adding tuning to this game is just gonna make it so much harder for them to balance it once they start adding more and more and more characters, depending on how long the game lasts, of course. But no, I hate tuning. I don't think tuning should have ever been a thing in this game. At the very least, it's better now than it was. I still think they have a lot to do to make it more free-to-play friendly and accessible for players. But at least it's better now than when it first came out. And also, yes, tuning is an unbalanced mess. You kind of take all the tuning skills, the mini ones and the big ones, and you throw them in a pool. There is like a handful that are just absolutely useless and terrible, and there's no reason you should ever use them. And then there's the ones in the middle that are good, but they're not overpowered, and I think they're fine the way they are. And then you have some that are just like, everyone runs them because they're too good. Sisterly.
You can add extra attack power, and then we have what we call special tuning skills. These are skills that are very unique, and they proc if you meet certain requirements, either like at the start of a game, or if your guard is broken, or if you have 1 HP after a fatal attack, or your body gets stunned, it'll remove that stun. If you land a melee hit, that is a very big one we're going to talk about later. I'm pretty sure you guys can guess what tune I'm going to talk about, but we'll get to that in a second. I don't want to just go straight into that tune. But yeah, overall, I think tuning is an amazing concept that many games have done before, but in a game like this, it is a extremely failed execution. It is unfinished. It is not implemented properly. The way it is implemented is not healthy for the game. It impacts the game way too much. It's not free to play friendly at all. And to touch on the unfinished part, some skills either don't work as they are intended, or they just simply do not work at all.
I agree with that, basically, for the most part. A lot of things in this game don't feel professional, if that makes sense. The game lacks polish, is what I would say. There's a lot of instances and aspects of the game that definitely you can tell lack polish. And that is because of they don't have enough dev power to polish the game. So that keeping in mind, them knowing this, tuning should not have been added to the game. The only thing I can think of is they added it to try to get more money out of people or something, or try to be different. But it just added so much more for them that they have to now work on and worry about. And they just don't have the manpower for it. I think I heard that they hired more devs, which I'm sure will help and we'll notice it. Some like improvements, but I mean, again, how long did it take them to nerf Strike Deku? Like 3 seasons? 4 seasons? Tuning has been in the game since, God, what season? Like he said, season 8. The first season, at the beginning of season 8. We are now on season 10. They have not touched tuning at all since it was introduced. 2 seasons, they have not touched it at all. That is too long. They need to start fixing things and working on things way quicker. You know, if they want to give the tuning system like an entire season to like see how it impacts gameplay, fine. It's been 2 seasons. That's too long. A season should have been the max amount of time, and then they should have come out with patch notes like here are all the tuning skills that we have tweaked and adjusted. That's what they should have done, but they didn't. So, you know, it's kind of hard to defend them and be on their side when they're doing dumb stuff like that, you know? Yeah. And yeah, the tuning skills some don't work, some are uber busted. Like, you could just tell that it's not a finished product. Kind of fits in with the rest of the game, to be honest with you, because most of the time when they do updates, there's always a bug or some major bug or something that's going on that impacts gameplay and enjoyment.
So, let's talk about it. So to start off with some tunes that just don't work at all, we have to look at the rapid tunes. Now, as of the recording of this video, on Saturday, April 12th, dash speed and downed crawl speed, I'm pretty sure wall jump height, do not work. I'm not sure if you guys knew this. Oh, run speed as well. I'm not sure if you guys knew this, but these tuning skills do not work. They do not add any type of speed buff to your character.
I didn't know that, but that would explain why every time I use them it feels like nothing changed. So, there you go. Like you said, there's a lot of them that are broken and just don't work. Stupid.
Character, and therefore, they are a waste of a slot. So, if you could put anything in there, anything, and I mean anything else at all, I encourage you to put it in there. I'm pretty sure wall shuffle speed does not work as well. But I do know that forward jump height does indeed work, but it is so insignificant of a change, it might as well be a waste as well. It is probably like an extra like frame or two of extra height that you're getting, and I promise you, you will never notice it. You will never notice the difference. It is so insignificant that it is trash. It is absolutely worthless and useless. Do not use it if you can avoid it. But the one thing I will say is that when these dash speed skills are coupled with skills that do work, like reload speed, use them. If it's just dash speed, forward jump height, wall shuffle speed, or wall jump height, do not use it. The same goes for run speed. Now, to touch more on the unfinished subject, the max HP tunes and the max GP tunes are bugged. They are bugged quite significantly. In the files, the data for these max HP and GP tunes have a decimal point in the wrong location, either to the left or to the right. And this results in you getting significantly less health and less shield than you should be getting. As it stands right now, each level for these skills equates to about, I think, 1 HP. Yeah, just 1 HP. 1 HP and 1 GP.
I'm gonna be honest, I think that's how it should be. Maybe, I don't think tuning should be a thing if they're so hell-bent on keeping tuning in the game. And at this point, we just have to accept that they've clearly put so much time and resources into this that it's just here permanently, unfortunately. They need to make it to where it's a thing to where it enhances characters, but it does not make them different characters, if that makes sense. In my opinion, I think the HP and GP thing should be 1 or 2. 1 or 2 points of HP per level. in GP per level. 1 or 2. Nothing more. Because then you're going to start getting characters with like 450 HP, Mirio with 300 HP. Like, it's, you know, I don't think. I know it's bugged, but they should keep it the way it is, in my opinion, because that is just going to add more problems and more balancing issues to the game. So I hope they just keep it as is. Fix it, but make it, or you know what I mean.
It should be like 10. So if you have, let's say, a max HP in a level 4 slot, one of these down here, you should be getting like around 40 HP, not 4 HP. That is an issue. The devs should have known this. This was introduced in Season 8. No matter when they started working on it, they should have taken their sweet ass time, because they did not warn us that this system was coming. So we had no idea. This could have came this season and been new. But they decided to release a buggy and unfinished new system that drastically changes the way everyone plays My Hero Ultra Rumble. That's not good. That needs to change. Now moving on to the technical class. The technical class of tuning skills is a weird one. The basic regular tunes, besides technical Denki, these are very insignificant. Nedge, for example, PU/PC reload is very insignificant. You will never notice it. Increases the reload speed of quirk skill Gamma. You will never notice it. It is so insignificant that you will probably get it back 2, 3, 4, 5 frames faster than you would normally get back your skill. Like I said, for the rapid class, it's insignificant. It is sometimes a waste of a slot, and if you can put something different, do it. Now, I know I'm saying that it's insignificant, and you can make the point that yes, it will still help you. It will still help you, but it will be in a very minuscule and insignificant way that it might as well not even be there at all, which is my point with tuning. It's unfinished. It's not.
So, again, I don't think tuning should be a thing that drastically changes a character. I don't think it should be. Because here's the thing, every character has its weakness. That is the point. Every character should have a weakness. They are good at something and bad at something else. You have to learn to play the character and deal with that weakness and play the character to the best of your ability. If you add a system that removes weaknesses of characters, what is the point? Exactly. There is no point then, because every character then can be optimal and have no weaknesses, which shouldn't be the case. Again, I think every tuning skill should provide a slight boost to where, yes, if someone has tuning versus someone who doesn't have tuning, if they're the exact same player, the one with tuning will win. But you should not win fights because I had Sisterly equipped, or because I had 30 red slots equipped, so my alpha damage is now 20 ticks higher than someone without it. In my opinion, I know he's talking about the technical ones and the GP, HP ones being like very insignificant ones, but I think that's how all of them should have been. It gives you a slight enhancement, and that is it. And the special tuning skills can be the ones to where, like, you know, it gives you little wacky little things. But even then, those should also still be slight. Not, congrats, you have given your character a completely new ability.
Not properly implemented. It's not balanced at all. Some parts of tuning are just way too broken or way too overpowered. it's actually insanity that they released it this way. And we have had no tuning changes in anything since the game came out. And even though in the beginning of the year they dropped a dev letter saying that we will adjust tuning skills accordingly, well, we're 4 months in, My Hero Ultra Rumble developers. Where is it? We need tuning changes, and we need them now. Now, to touch on the broken side of the technical class. High speed replenishment. This is a skill that cuts the time it takes to drink a shield potion in half. It does not matter how much you level up this skill, 95% of the time, it will bug out and you have it for the entire game. It will look like you still are drinking it for the maximum amount, but you still get the shield in half the time, and all you have to do is roll out of the potion.
Yep, that is true, and that should not be a thing. And here's the thing, it doesn't even matter if it was unbugged. Every tuning skill in this game that says at the beginning of the match, if you get it to level 10 or 11, it's gonna last the whole match. Which shouldn't be the thing. Why is it beginning of the match then? Like, look at the card duplication, for example. You get extra cards at the beginning of the match. Guess what? If you level it up to 10, it's basically the entire match. Well, the entire length of a normal Ultra Rumble match is how long it lasts, if not more. Therefore, there's no saying it's only for the beginning of the match is stupid. It makes no sense. And even if they fixed high-speed replenishment, it's still if you level up to 10, it's gonna last the whole match anyway. So like, I think every skill that says last beginning of the match should last literally until like either like 3 minutes into the match, 5 minutes into the match, or until there's like half teams left and then it just stops working, or something like that. Like, again, it should be balanced. You know, it shouldn't be like a free, like, ooh, I get to have this for the entire game, and it's just like a way bigger advantage than I want because I have this character and you don't, and I have this costume and you don't.
And you have the shield. This defeats the entire purpose of what they intended this skill to be like. You do not have... This is broken. I know everyone uses it. We're kind of abusing like a buggy system. I know. I'm not saying anyone is at fault here. I'm calling the devs out on their bullshit. This should not work like this. This should be fixed. And it is not necessarily... It's not our biggest problem. If they don't fix it, it's fine. But we will get to the biggest problem in just a moment. Okay, moving on to the most broken and the most overpowered and the best tuning skill in this game by far, Sisterly Disposition. What this skill does is that when you land a melee on an opponent, every single time you land a melee, there is no cooldown, it will increase your defense by 50%, not 15, 50.
I think a better way to look at it, and this is basically how it is if you melee someone with Sisterly, at level 10, you get 30 seconds of 50% damage reduction. Every piece of damage that you take for the next 30 seconds after landing one melee cuts the damage that you take in half. And you want to know what's even stupider? Dumber? You can plot Revenge Assault on top of that, which gives you, when your guard breaks, another 20%. And that is not... So, if you have Revenge Assault and Sisterly active, that is 70% damage reduction. That is not including assault characters or assault cards active as well. That shouldn't be a thing. Like, you should not be... Because then here's the problem we run into. Any character, even Mario, can be a, like, absolute tank, but he can fly across the map. Hawks can be an absolute tank while doing good damage, while, again, flying halfway across the map. That shouldn't be a thing. My thing is, again, if they're gonna nerf it, which they should, make it like 20% or 30% damage reduction at most. Or give it 50%, but then it cuts your damage in half that you do to people. So you're tankier, but then you're doing less damage to compensate for that. I think that would make more sense. And there's another tuning skill in the files, same one for Kendo's quirk set, to where if you melee someone, it looks like you get 50% extra increase to your damage. For that one, again, make it 20 or 30%, or do the same thing they did with this, or that they should do with Sisterly. You melee someone, you get 50% more damage, but you take 50% more damage as well to compensate for it. I think that would make sense, because it's a risk-reward thing. You know? At the moment, there is no risk or reward. You melee someone, GG. Congrats, you win. Why did you win? Because I owned this costume with this character, and I pressed one key on my keyboard. Wow, so skillful.
50%. And what this essentially does by increasing your defense by 50% is that it essentially doubles the amount of health you have, because by increasing your defense by 50%, you are making every single skill do half of the damage that it would have originally done. So, for example, Deku's base alpha damage at level 9 is 80, and if you have Sisterly on, it will now do 40 damage. The reason why this skill is so strong is because every character can use it, every character can take advantage of it, and it lasts for up to 30 entire seconds at level 11. I think it's about 25 if you have it in the level 10 slot, but I have it in the level 11 slot, so I get to take full advantage of it, and I have it for 30 seconds on Lemillion. And Lemillion's melee is very good. If the opponent is on HP, that's a guaranteed hit if you do alpha. On GP, it's not a consistent combo, but on HP it is. And yeah, this skill has been running the game for, I would say, about a season and a half now.
True. No one knew about it at first. I used it at the beginning. Then I saw everyone else using it, and I stopped using it. In my opinion, I don't like using OP stuff, because A, there's no challenge, so it's not fun. And B, like, it's just, I know I hate it when it happens to me, so why would I want to inflict that upon someone else? You know? Plus, guess what? It makes you play sloppier. Because you're like, oh, I'm not going to take damage anyway, so like, who cares? Like, do you know the amount of times that I would do that, and I would just walk through Red Shiggy's alphas and betas? Because he doesn't hurt me. It's going to incentivize people to play sloppier, and then when they finally fix it, then people are going to be worse. Which is why, again, I don't use it. It's stupid. It's bull. It's like a get-out-of-jail-free card for doing nothing. It's like, oh, but you have to melee someone. Okay. If that was the case, then... okay. It would be fine if it was everyone has Strike, Shigaraki's melee. But guess what? We have characters like Ida, Froppy, Hawks. Mirio is another good example. Their melees, pretty easy to land, especially Hawks. Hawks' melees are stupid. So, you know, Ida has his melee to where he jumps and then he does like a front flying kick, which he can combo, combo with his alphas to guaranteed get it. and then he could just fly away or fly to someone to kick them. At least with like, if everyone had Shiggy's melees, then it's like they have no mobility. They don't have like a weird melee to where it shoots them forward or something. But that's not the case, because everyone can use it, like he said.
It is extremely strong, and the way you can get away with this, if your character doesn't even have a good melee setup, you can just use this on downed bodies, on downed opponents. You can just practice on downed opponents, and you can farm this skill, resetting the timer every single melee, and it has been ruining the game. It has been ruining ranked. It severely, and I mean severely and significantly, impacted the official tournament, I think around almost a month ago. And if you don't think it did, that's insane, because almost every single team was running it. It was extremely strong, and characters that have amazing melees like Froppy, Mirio, Twice, Hawks, for example, Ida,
I didn't even mention Twice.
Mount Lady takes good advantage of it too. Mount Lady actually takes advantage of it really well because she can just go big, and her melee hitbox then, as the rest of her, it becomes giant, so then she can just proc that. So on top of the damage reduction she will get from going big, she also adds 50% on top of that. Meaning that if your Deku Alpha is doing 80 damage to a normal person, it's probably going to do like 11 or 10 or like even less than that to a Mount Lady in big form.
I did have a funny thing happen. I was playing Hawks one time. I know, oh my god, he's playing an OP character. Here's the thing. I play Hawks with the character tickets because I don't have them. So meaning he uses no tuning. In my opinion, I don't even think he needs tuning. That's how good he is still. But that's besides the point. I get bored. I play a lot of different characters. Playing the same characters in the same setup, gets mind-numbingly boring to me. So I was playing Hawks, and I think I hit one of my alphas on someone, a Mount Lady, who was big with Sisterly. I think it actually did like 2 damage. Like, I kid you not, I think it did actually 2 damage, which is hilarious.
But we're not talking about Mount Lady. We're talking about this broken tuning skill. This skill needs to change, and what I would personally do to it is that I would decrease it to be 30% damage reduction and have it be on a cooldown the same exact way that Trance Blow works. My gripe about this skill and about melee tunes in general is that the devs pick and choose whenever they want to balance something. This skill, there is no way that you can convince me that the devs thought this would be an okay skill to launch with the game.
Either the devs don't playtest stuff or they're extremely incompetent at their game. I'm gonna go with the first one because there's just no way. No, because they can even see people playing the game. They just like don't playtest at all. They just throw it out there and see what happens, and then they're like, well, it's ruining the game and making people upset, but we don't have the development power to fix it until like 2 seasons from now, so, you know, whatever. Shouldn't be the case. You test it, or if you're gonna test it on players, fix it instantly. I think having players playtest your game is probably the smarter idea, because the players are, you know, the people who actually play the game 24/7. And I think that's fine, but like, again, if you're gonna do that, then like, you know, oh, this skill is broken, people are upset about it. Alright, it's nerfed. You're good, you guys are good now. Instead it's like, the skill's broken, players don't like it. Well, maybe 2 seasons from now we'll be able to fit it into our schedule. Like, no. No.
Now, the main issue is the amount of reduction. It's not the cooldown. It's the amount of reduction. Cutting your damage in half to somebody is a major blow to an opponent. It turns Rapids into tanks. It turns Lemillion from 225 all the way up to 450 HP. It turns Ida from Ida, I'm pretty sure Ida's the fastest character in the game, if you're not counting Kurogiri, who can literally just TP across the map. It turns Ida from 250 to 500. And this is not counting GP. So, essentially, Ida is 1,000 health with this tuning skill for 30 seconds. For 30 seconds, if he's on full GP and full HP...
And he's not even talking about All For One, which I know people have used it on All For One. At least with him it makes more sense, because his melees are kind of meh. So like for an All For One with Sisterly, it's much harder for him to take advantage of it, because his melees are not stupid broken, and you need people to be like, again, right in front of you. You can't really like fly to them unless you have like a Ida quirk set or something. But you know, it doubles your health, so how much health does All For One have? Well, let's see, he's got 400, so that would be 800, and then he's got 250, so that'll be 500. So he basically turns into a fucking raid boss. 1,300 HP. That shouldn't be a thing. No. This is why, like, and imagine if HP GP worked the way it's supposed to. Cool, yeah, I'm just gonna sit here with my 2,000 HP All For One. I literally can't die to anything.
He has 1,000 health points in general. This is not good. This is not okay. This needs to change, and this skill is broken. It is running the game. If you cannot go into a ranked game where someone is not using Sisterly. You can't. It's that common. Everyone runs it because every character can take advantage of it. Now, circling back to what I would personally do to it, I would reduce the damage reduction from 50% to 30%. I would make it have a cooldown like Trance Blow, and
I think it should have a cooldown as well. It should not just be like, I melee someone, alright, I get it. I melee someone, alright, I get it. I melee... Like, you melee someone, you get it, and then it has a cooldown. It definitely should be like that. And again, I think, again, cutting it to 20 or 30%, like he said, like I said, good idea. Or again, if they really want to keep it at 50, then again, you do 50% less damage to your enemies. So you use it as a survival thing. You use it because because this team is going to chase me, and I need the extra defense so I don't die, and so I can get away from them. Because then, like, again, if you're doing half damage to people while you're also taking half damage, then at least it's like, okay, so, like, I might lose a fight because I'm doing so little damage, even if I'm tanky. But I think just, again, the simpler, easier way, just lower it to like 20, 30, and have a cooldown and be done with it.
I would also make it so that you cannot activate it on downed opponents, because then you can just cycle it over and over and over again. Well, with the cooldown you wouldn't, but just to nerf it some more, because damage reduction in a game like this is not it shouldn't be something that you can easily spam. The prerequisite for it should be difficult. It should be...
I don't know if he's going to talk about this too, but I think Embrittlement also is like right there with Sisterly. I think the thing with Embrittlement is it's the defense lowering it does is not as big as the defense increase that Sisterly does. And you only embrittle the actual person you melee for a set amount of time. But I do think Embrittlement is going to need changes too, because it's kind of the same thing, just reverse. You know, instead of you punching someone and you get defense, you punch someone and they lose defense. And I'm going to be honest, the only reason I think people are using Embrittlement mainly, I mean, obviously it's good, duh, but to counter Sisterly. So like people get Sisterly, and then they use Embrittlement on people with Sisterly, so they can actually do like more than 2 damage per shot to them. I mean, that's what I use it for. Like people who have Sisterly, it's nice to be able to like hit them with that, and then I can actually do like okay damage to them. It definitely doesn't negate it completely, but it helps.
Very costly to do. Even if you have a good melee setup, it should still have some risk and some good reward. This has little to no risk and a fuck ton of reward. It needs to change. My final point, actually no, my second to final point about tuning is that I will talk about the damage tunes, or the strike class, I should say. Actually, we're mainly just going to be talking about the damage tunes. But if you did not know, if you triple stack alpha attack power, beta attack power, and gamma attack power, they stack exponentially instead of just adding on top of each other. And what that means is that they multiply each other, which means you're getting significantly more damage by stacking these skills than if you were to do like alpha attack power and beta attack power. But since I'm doing alpha attack power, alpha attack power, alpha attack power, I am getting a lot more damage than...
Yeah, I don't think that's how it works exactly. I think based on the math, oh, nerd. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the way the damage quirks or the damage things work is they work the same way as the they work the same way as the HP and GP ones do, to where it gives you 1 extra point of damage to that skill. The thing about that is, yes, you can stack infinitely. So what you can do is you can put, so let's just say Purple Denki, Strike Dobby, and Bakugo. Each of those give you alpha attack power. That is 9 extra damage to someone's alpha. It doesn't stop there though. You can also put HP attack power, and there's 2 characters with that, and then you can do GP attack power. So basically you can make it to where someone's alpha is doing 13 extra damage to shield, and, 12. I can't count. 12 extra damage to shield, and 15 extra damage to health. And that is not including Revenge Strike, or if there's more strike slots for other skills, or if the skill is a villain specific or hero specific slot to where you can get an extra point of damage out of it. And on top of that, this works differently with characters who have tick damage, and more effectively with them, might I add. You know, like if everything just worked like how Yellow Deku's beta did, it wouldn't be as bad. You know, you're just adding 10 extra damage to a big move. That's it. But no, it's like, you know, like let's look at Endeavor, for example. His alpha goes through ticks. When you are aiming at someone and holding on someone, you will see tick damage. That damage applies to every one of those ticks. So you can make Endeavor do an extra 9 alpha damage on top of his normal damage per tick. That means this also works with Red Shigaraki, with his decay. This works with... I'm trying to think, like, I guess like Red Shiggy's grab Gamma. Like if you put Gamma into stuff, it would work with that. And since you're doing more damage, if you have a strike card or strike characters, it's going to up that even further. I think the tunes for damage are a little too much. I think it should be like, if it's 1 tick, it should be like half. Like you get half a tick of damage per level or something. It's a little too much.
I would if I did something else. This is not healthy for the game because it is just blatantly just unfair that you can just triple stack or even double stack just two of the same type of tunes and multiply your damage by, I'm not exactly sure on the correct numbers, but it's not fair and it needs to be changed. And I don't know why the devs, I'm not sure if this is an oversight, I'm not sure if this is a intended, but I think this needs to change. For example, I'm pretty sure Lemillion's max charge alpha damage is 140, and by triple stacking these alpha tunes, I can bring my alpha up to 163 damage. And this is not even Mirio's most optimal costume. If I were to do it on this costume, Festival Outfit Dangerous, by putting them in the level 4 slots, you can bring Lemillion's charge alpha damage to up to 100 and I think 75 or 74, which is an extra 10 damage. Lemillion should not be that strong. No character should be able to do that. In fact, this also brings Yellow Deku's alpha from 80.
Yes, so I'm guilty of this. I've used two builds. There's an embrittlement build with the shoot style outfit that I use. And then there's I think it's the Kung Fu villain fit, I think is what it's called. The one that has like the 30 red slots on it. Dude, my Yellow Deku, when I have Revenge Strike active, and I'm fighting someone who doesn't have any, like, like Revenge Assault or defense things or anything, it's doing 123. It should not do 123. No, it really should not. And Strike Deku, guess how much he does? 160. Strike Deku is doing the same amount of damage that Lemillion's charged alpha is, or around the same. That shouldn't be a thing. No. Which is again why I think it should be tuned to where instead of it giving you 1 damage point, it gives you half, or they limit it to where you can only have a certain amount of damage things for a specific skill, and then it caps out. I would just say go with the half damage thing because it's a little easier. You just go into the data, do backspace 0.5, done. Easy. Alright, the game's much better now. But again, I'm not going to do that for like 2 seasons.
Base damage to 100 damage at level 9. If you have a strike character on your team, that's 105. If you have another strike character on your team, that's 110. This is the damage that Deku was doing all the way back in Season 1, and they nerfed him for a very, very good reason. That was too strong. You have a long-range alpha doing damn near half of your health and guard. That's not fair. That's too overpowered, so they nerfed it. But with this, you can essentially revert any nerfs you want to if you find their optimal costume and you order them in the optimal way. Which also brings me to my next point. If you order the tunes in a very specific way, you can get more damage. I'm on my Shoto build right now, and my point is that you may be wondering why I have my Denki tuning skill over here instead of over here. That is because the game reads tuning skills from left to right. And the problem with this is that depending on the way that you order them, you can get more damage or reap more benefits from.
I didn't even know that, but no, that should not be a thing. It should not be a thing. Like, again, you put, like, again, we have Strike Dobby right here, Corkscrew Alpha type power. That is always going to be 3 points of damage, no matter what way it reads it. That is how it should be. The fact that I didn't even know that it multiplies into each other. That's stupid.
From tuning, rather than if you order them in just any other way, you decide to order them. But, okay. So, since I have my alpha attack power in the level 4 slot, it is the first alpha attack power that the game is going to read. And if I had my first alpha attack power over here, it would read the level 3 one first. But since it's not, and it's reading the level 4 one first, I get more damage and I reap more benefits from alpha attack power. This is not fair. This should not be a thing. This is a oversight by the devs. I'm pretty sure this is an oversight. I'm not sure if they intended for this. It seems like an oversight, to be honest, because maybe while they were coding, they needed to figure out, obviously, how the system would read the tuning skills, and they just didn't even think about the fact that if you order them in a specific way, then you can reap more benefits from it. But this is something that also needs to change, and you guys do with this information what you will. I know some people are definitely going to change their builds after this, after hearing this information, but if people are not aware about it and people do not use it, the devs will never figure it out. The devs will never fix it. It's the whole reason why Ida got fixed the way that he did. The season after everyone started using him, he was fixed. Even though the glitch was in the game since the very beginning. And only after it became widespread was it then fixed. So, yeah, do with the information what you will. Okay, to touch on my final point about tuning for this game before we move on to the next topic, which will be the gacha, actually, so it's going to segue pretty well into each other. This system is not free-to-play friendly at all in any way, shape, or form, and I'm about to show you guys right now. So I'm on my alt account, and
the system is not free-to-play friendly at all. Not at all. They did make it better, but again, here's the thing: you have to own a specific, if you want a specific build, you have to own that specific costume. Meaning, how do you get it? You have to summon it. So someone who just started playing the game, they're gonna have no costumes. But someone who's been playing the game for a while, they probably have a decent amount of costumes, because why? They've been playing the game for a while. It's not fair. Like, at all. I do think you should reward players who have stuck with the game longer, but you should not make it to where, because I played the game longer than you, I get to be better than you at the game. Not even because of my skill, because of literally all my tuning shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the one build that I was able to make, and my abundance of currency that I have. Let's see, what costume did I do it on? Ah, here we go. Look at all the currency that I have, and this was the build that I was able to make. Remember those useless tunes that I put on here? It is the only tunes that I can possibly do. Because if you don't have if you don't have any of these, and if you don't play this game like absolutely crazy, you cannot make good tuning builds. You cannot take.
And here's another thing I'm going to point out. It doesn't even matter if you've played the game for a while. I have played this game since day one. I have summoned on so many different banners. I have saved, I have not saved, I've done all of it. I don't have Strike Dobby. I have spent probably in combined total for banners that he has been on 10,000 tickets, and I don't have him. So you know what I have to do for every single one of my builds that I want to do, because I like doing alpha damage? I'm doing All for One, Endeavor, Deku, Bakugo, probably every other character that I build, just because I like doing alpha damage the most. Guess who I need? Strike Dobby. I need Strike Dobby. And guess what? He only drops a max of 25 currency. Occasionally, and actually no, rarely, when you finish a game. I have, it's nice that I can actually build and use his currency to, build characters without actually having him. But if I had him, I would have all those characters built right now. They would be done. All done. And guess what? I have like 10,000 of these character data exchange tickets. And you can only use them for characters you already have. But guess what? I get so much freaking data for characters I already have that I don't need to use them. It's just, I don't get it. 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 The simplest and easiest explanation is, again, they just want the game to be pay to win, and they want to make as much money and squeeze as much money out of it as possible. Which is really sad and disappointing to hear. Now, again, the game has been moving up. I think, you know, the character patch we got where they nerfed like 30 characters was really good. Crossplay being implemented is really good. But this does not mean that this excuses everything else that they have refused to do or have taken forever to do. And this does not mean that the game is perfect now. No, there is a lot still that needs to be worked on, and, you know, I was expecting and hoping that last patch we got, they were going to do something. They did not. So now, you know, I'm starting to get a little like, okay, you know, where is the changes? Where are the changes?
Take full advantage of this system at all. And it is all up to luck. It is all up to RNG. It is all up to the gacha for you to get these resources. It is all up to you, because most of the stuff that you need is also in the battle pass, which is 13,000 crystals. And this is not me complaining about the price. I'm just saying, to a free-to-play player, you could get
the license. I get people complaining about, but like, if you play the game, right? If you play the game and you do the 2 events that we get every season, that will give you enough crystals to buy the license for free. And then on top of that, once you buy 1 license, as long as you're not stupid with your currency, you can buy every license moving forward. The only stipulation is you have to play the game. I think that's fine. You know, my first concern with the license was that it was too grindy. I do think it is still kind of a little too grindy. But it's not as bad as I originally thought. I think the license is fine. Most of the stuff is in the free part of the license anyway. So, you know, I think the license is actually in a good spot. The only thing I want them to change about it is maybe make it a little easier to level up, just a little. And maybe once you get to 70, give it random rewards. Don't give it just gold. Give it like you have a chance to get like keys or the rainbow tuning seals or something. It can be a small amount of them, but just something, so that way I can feel like, oh, if I'm leveling up, I can actually get something that I can use. Gold, not useful at all. I literally have everything but. Everything that you can buy with gold in the game, I have bought. So it's literally useless.
Get some stuff from the event, yeah, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to be enough to equate to 13,000 crystals. And just, I hope you guys are seeing my point.
And it is. Both events. There's 2, they always do 2 events every season. Well, they do like 2 or 3 events every season. And 2 of those events give, I think, 7,000 or 8,000 crystals each. If you were to do both of those events and get all the crystals, you would have enough to buy the license in that season. The only stipulation is, again, you would have to play the game and you'd have to wait. So, you know.
Here, that you're not going to have any characters. You're not going to, and without the characters, you're leaving it all up to the RNG after you finish a match and you get the data for the character. And some of my friends, they have been trying to get certain characters' data, and there's no way to manipulate it to get the certain character or skill set that you want. And characters, that's different. You can wait for a character to be on a character ticket, but even they have stopped doing that also, which let me talk about that. Overhaul is not on the character ticket.
I think the gacha is really bad and awful and needs changed. But I would not have as much of an issue with it if they kept doing this, which they have stopped doing for like 2 or 3 seasons now. I don't know why. Again, probably making money, but it's stupid. Overhaul should have been on the character ticket 2 seasons ago or something. And then I think this season we should have got Hawks. Or then after that we should have got Hawks, and then we should have got Present Mike, etc., etc. And then they also should implement something to where quirk skill sets you can buy up to Overhaul. So, that would be what, Strike Deku, Yellow Shiggy, some other things, or probably a couple other ones that I'm forgetting. I don't remember what released alongside Overhaul, which quirk set released alongside them. But yeah, that's what they should do. Because then it's like, I don't have the character, but at least I can get them in like a few seasons. I can get the character. Or, I didn't get the quirk set. At least I can buy it in a couple seasons or a few seasons. I think if they continued doing that and implemented one for the quirk skill sets, I would not really have that big of an issue with the gacha, because then it's like, if you can't pull them, at least you were guaranteed to get them in a few seasons, Like, yeah, the gacha is still going to be meh and whatnot, but that would make it so much more bearable. And it would again add another edition for Hero Souls, or maybe they should add gold for it. Make it cost 1,000,000 gold, 500,000 gold. I don't care. Just make gold have a use. And then boom, you've solved 30 issues. The game's way better, but again, they're not going to do that.
Ticket. Still, they just did not tell us about this. Charismatic Demon actually pointed this out in his video. But Overhaul is still not on the ticket. He should have been on the ticket, I'm pretty sure, 2 seasons ago. And he's still not on it. I'm pretty sure the character ticket character should be Hawks right now. And I'm pretty sure we stopped with the character ticket characters at Lemillion. And Lemillion came out all the way back in Season 5. And the devs didn't tell us about this or anything. They still haven't mentioned anything. It's pretty bad. Because people are waiting to be able to get Overhaul, because maybe they want to use his max HP and gamma damage tune, or his reinforced revive tune, and they can't do it. They can't do it, they don't own the character, and they have been unlucky with rolls. Now, segueing into my gacha segment. The gacha for this game, it deters a lot of people from this game because it is so expensive. The pity does not carry over. The pity is way too high, and it is very harsh on any player, incoming players, or even veteran players. If I was to change this personally, I think characters should probably be paid deals. If these devs really want to maximize revenue, if they are really that
Paid DLC. I don't think they should do that either. I think the characters should just be free. Do what Marvel Rivals does. Just make them free. If you really want to charge for people, charge for the quirk sets. Because at least it's like the character still, or something. But again, they're not gonna do that. I hate to say this. The game came with the gacha. The gacha's been in the game for almost 2 years. The gacha is here to stay. All they could do is try to at least make it not garbage. Same with, the tuning. The tuning has been here for like 2 seasons or so. It's here to stay. All they can do is at least make it not garbage. Pity. I mean, every game does pity differently. This game is not the worst I've seen with pity, but it's not the best either. I think the cost of characters and costumes is fine, to be honest. I mean, let's face it, I went into this season, Shinzo, with 0 tickets. And everything I've gathered from this season, I'm at 150 role points. So if you just saved a little bit, you would be able to buy the character. I do think it should be a thing of like you do need to save to guarantee the characters you want. I think that should be, you know, part of it. But I do think it's a little predatory and a little, I mean, expensive. Absolutely, it's way too expensive. Way too expensive. A multi is like what, $25? Hell no. Get out of here. 25? No. Mm-mm. I would not recommend anyone spend money on this game at all. It's so not worth it. It's too expensive. I do think they could do like a system though where like they carry over pity, or they do more guaranteed costume, guaranteed character, guaranteed quirk skill set banners. So like, you know, you could save your tickets for those, and like those are like really good value or something, you know. They've had guaranteed like costume step ups and whatnot, but they're so bad, and they only let you use crystals. You're not using crystals on that. You're saving crystals for the license. Maybe to throw in like, or if you do use crystals outside of the license, you're going to use it for the ticket bundles, not just straight up for buying a multi. Like, I don't get it. It's like they, again, it's like they put the gacha in here because they wanted to try to squeeze more money out of people, but then they decided we're not going to make the gacha actually good. So people will actually not be, like, opposed to it existing or opposed to spending money.
That money hungry, and they really care that much, make characters pay DLC and keep costumes in the gacha. I'm not sure if this would be better or worse. I personally think this would be better. Oh, and characters that also include skill sets, so don't think I'm not thinking about skill sets too. But yeah, the fact that pity does not carry over is stupid. It is completely stupid because, let's say, let me give you a scenario. If you want to roll on this specific quirk skill set roll banner, and you want a better chance to get a white hair Dabi, Avenging Assassin, or Uniform Damage Toga. You want a better chance to do this, but you know, you don't necessarily want Strike Dabi, and that's perfectly fine. You should be able to wait until the next rotation, which is in 17 days, and use those pity for the next skill set that is going to be rotated on this banner. But I'm not exactly sure who's going to...
Now, what they could do, because I don't, there's a lot of games that don't do that let you carry over pity. And it might be a little much, just a little. What they can do though is kind of follow the Dokkan formula. If you don't know, Dokkan has pity on their normal banners. You summon for a character. If you get shafted hard enough, you can just buy a copy of the character. But what they also have is they have they have different coins for different banners. Dokkan Fest, Legendary Summon, Carnival, etc. And every time a banner comes out, every other character on that banner except for the main one is available to buy with those coins, and those coins stay forever, and those characters, anytime they are featured, you can buy them. They should do something like this. Like, okay. They could either do it to where they just add in a general pool like costumes, characters, and whatnot, or like when it's their rerun, you can buy them. You know, like Ochako just came out. You can't buy her because you know you can buy her with the pity, the roll points, but you can't buy her with the coins because she just came out. But when either the next quirk skill set banner that comes out or her next rerun, then you can buy her with those coins, or then you can buy her, and so you could save those for that type of thing. it might sound a little confusing. Just go kind of look at how Dokkan does it. That's kind of what I'm getting at with it. Because then you're adding just another system on top of what we have here that will help players get the characters they want and the quirk skill sets they want and the costumes they want. You know, add a price for characters, add a price for skill sets and costumes, and then, you know, you can summon that way and get characters easier and quirk skill sets easier and costumes easier. God, my voice is gonna give out.
It's gonna be the next quirk set rotated on this banner. But yeah, you just want to roll for these three costumes because they're on the rate up, and they have a where is it at? Oh, it's right here. Yeah, you have a 0.8% chance to get them versus every other costume you have a 0.086% chance, and then a 0.021% chance. Wow. Okay, I did not know the percentages were this bad. Wow, that is.
Yeah, the rates are garbage, awful, terrible. It should be, at this point, plus ultra per multi. I don't care. Plus ultra guaranteed per multi. I do not care.
Actually terrible.
And then they need to do like step ups, like, oh, this one gives you a 1.5 times rate or a 2 times rate of getting a plus ultra on top of the, you know, current guaranteed plus. Like, no, I don't want to hear it. The 2-star guaranteed? Yeah, no.
That brings me to another point. Yeah, these percentages are pretty terrible. These percentages suck. These percentages are really bad. They are very bad. And yeah. And also, pity is way too high because you need over 200 points, and this equates to 2,000 tickets.
I think the pity is fine, personally. If they added the stuff that I talked about and they, you know, added guaranteed plus ultras, like if they did all that, I think the pity would be fine. If they really want to, though, maybe lower, like, characters and quirk skill sets should be like 150, or like, you know, the newest quirk skill set should be 200, and then the older it gets, the cheaper and cheaper it is. And then costumes like 50, 75, something like that. But I don't have really as much of a problem with the pity. I think the pity's fine. Again, if you're smart with your tickets, you can guaranteed get something you want. You just cannot summon on every single banner that comes out. That's kind of the logic with most gacha games. You shouldn't summon on every banner that comes out. But again, I think people wouldn't have as much problem with it, and I would be perfectly fine with it as well if the other aspects of the gacha were not terrible.
2,000 tickets is no small feat. That is hard to get, that is hard to accumulate over a set amount of time. It takes a while. It definitely takes more than a season. You maybe could do it, you probably could do it, and that's only because of the updated battle pass they did. Before they changed this battle pass, it was impossible to get 2,000 tickets in a single season. You weren't doing it, you might as well just kiss that dream goodbye. And costumes are 100. Now, segueing into the point about pity being too expensive, about rolling being too expensive, 100 points on the gacha equates to 1,000 tickets. And 1,000 tickets equates to $200 US in terms of crystals.
Yeah, no, the prices for the crystals is atrocious. It's terrible. It's so bad. It's awful. They need to... No. Yeah, $25 for a multi. Get out of here. You're funny. You're hilarious. No, not happening. Needs to be cheaper. Needs to be cheaper.
Because the largest amount of crystals that you can buy, the largest bundle, this bundle only equates to 500 tickets that you can possibly get. Meaning...
Which is disgusting. That's terrible. Awful. I almost threw up.
that a character or a skill set pity is 400 US dollars. For a singular character or a skill set in a video game, this is unacceptable. And this is way too much. I understand this is a gacha game, the devs.
And here's the thing, it's like, oh, well, do you want to buy 5 multis for you to get 5 2-stars? Or do you want to buy a copy of Mario Kart World and save $10? Physical copy, by the way. You buy the physical copy and save $10. Now, again, I don't think video games should be that expensive either, but that's a whole other discussion. What's another thing? Do you want to buy 5 multis that you could get nothing for, or buy like 4 copies of Minecraft? 3 copies of Minecraft. Yeah, see, it's stupid. It's dumb. I hate gacha in general. That's a whole other rant for me, but like, gacha is terrible. The worst. It's the worst gaming genre ever. It's terrible. I hate it. It's garbage. No. But there is ways to make it at least, not completely utterly garbage. And some games do better at that than others. Rumble is terrible, awful, disgusting.
To make money, yada yada, etc., etc. I do not care. This is too much. This is absurd. This shit should be illegal, bro. This is insane. $400 to guarantee a character. $200 to guarantee a cosmetic. This is dumb. This is why I know a lot of people that were interested in this game that once they saw it was a gacha game, or like once they realized how harsh the gacha was, they completely stopped playing. I'm the only one of my my friends that plays this game because I'm just that addicted to the My Hero IP, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, the gacha is a very moot point for this game. It is a very controversial point for this game, and it's also, I'm pretty sure, one of the main reasons that Globku, which is it's a YouTuber, I'm pretty sure you guys know Globku. You guys know who Globku is, right? But he doesn't make videos on his game anymore because the gacha is so harsh. And if you just want to try out a character, well, shit, I can't display it because I have the latest character. Who was the latest character? Shinso, yeah. Shinso costs 3 rental tickets to...
The fact that they changed this to cost multiple, it should always have been 1. Should always have been 1. They never should have changed it. Stupid change. You don't... And here's the thing, it's all like, what can we do to maximize profit? There is no way in hell that going from any character costing 1 ticket to use to the newer they are, the more tickets they cost, gave them any sort of extra income. There's no way. So therefore, change it back. It's stupid.
Use, which means 1 game per day you get to play Shinso or any new character.
Which is great, by the way, when you load into your 1 Shinso game and then your team decides to be stupid and land halfway across the map, so then you instantly die. There's your Shinso game. There's your 1 Shinso game for the day. Have fun.
That comes out in the future. That's insane. It used to be 1. It used to be able to play a character 3 times in a singular day, which is fine. No one complained about that. No one complained about that, but then they changed it to be 3, and then the subsequent characters that came after it would lower the amount that the old new character would cost, which means that the character after Shinso would make Shinso cost 2, the character after that new character would make Shinso cost 1, and then the character after that would make Shinso move on to the character ticket. But they're not even doing the character ticket anymore, so maybe Shinso won't even move the character ticket. We don't even know. We don't know what the hell is going on with the character ticket situation in this game. This all circles back to the point about this game being an unbalanced, buggy, and just a controversial mess. Okay, now moving on to my section about balancing and about how this game is just completely unbalanced.
Now, I'm going to disagree with this. I'm going to hear him out, obviously. Yes, this video is going to be long. Sorry. I want to give my thoughts and comments as well as listen to his. Sorry. Just going to have to deal with it. I think the game is actually in a pretty good... Like, if we take out tuning, if you take out tuning from the game, I think the game is actually in a pretty decent state. It's not perfect, but I think it's actually in a pretty good state balance-wise. There are some characters that I still think, like, I think Kendo's damage still needs nerfed. I think Present Mike's damage needs nerfed. And then some other things need, like, tweaked here and there. But honestly, the game, again, outside of tuning, is not in that bad of a state, in my opinion. Like, I feel like... You know, there's a couple characters to where I'll come across and be like, oh, you know, it's that character, of course. But usually I just get mad at tuning skills now, not really like the character. I'm like, oh, I died because, of course, this guy has Sisterly. Of course, this guy has Revenge Strike. Of course, this guy has, you know, whatever. I don't really like, oh, I died to Strike Deku. Of course, you know, like, so maybe that's controversial, but I actually think that's like the one thing along with crossplay to where the game's actually in a decent state. Again, not perfect, still needs some changes, but it's not bad.
And not fair. The devs do not listen to the community when it comes to balancing. We do not get good balance patches. We do not get good sufficient balance patches. We do not get frequent enough balance patches.
Yes, I do agree with that. We get one balance patch every, like, season, which should not be the case. It should be, like, at the very least, every other update. And we don't even sometimes get it at the beginning of the season. Sometimes we don't get anything at the beginning of the season aside from, here's the new license, here's the new whatever. Have fun, that's it. Here's some bug fixes, maybe. I do think the communication needs to be better. We need a, like, okay, so, you know, every other week we get a maintenance. Every 2 maintenances we get a balance patch, and they, you know, like, here's the differences, you know, whatnot, and that would give, you know, that would also allow it to where they could release a quirk skill set or a character. Let the character and skill set simmer in the community, see how people feel about it, and then they could do balance changes on the character. It would be so much better, because right now, again, we get it like... Would once every 2... No, because that's... So basically every 4 weeks, so once a month, we would get a balance change. Which would be way more frequent than we usually do, because again, we usually get it once a season, which is, a season is like 2 months, so we get like basically 6 balance changes in a year. Not frequent enough, should be way more. But I don't know, that's my thought about it. It depends on, like, what's going on. Like, I think if there's, like, they release something and it's genuinely a buggy mess, then I think, like, you know, emergency maintenance. Not... I still will never get over the fact... Sorry, segue. Sorry, completely off topic, kind of. But they did an emergency maintenance for Endeavor's Gamma when they originally buffed it. Because they were like, this is too strong. This is hurting the game. We are going to fix it. But All Might doing 300 damage with his melees. Not a peep. They fixed it. They didn't say a word about it, though. No, nothing. Toga having the invulnerable glitch when Mirio came out. They eventually said something about it. They did not do an emergency maintenance for that, though. They just said, don't do it. Stupid.
The devs will do one patch where they change like 10 or 12 different characters and then disappear and don't give us a balanced patch for like a month or two, which is extremely unhealthy for the game. It causes the game to get stale. It causes the meta to stay the same. We have been in a rapid meta ever since Hawks came out in the anniversary. And the anniversary was almost, I think, like 8 months ago. And we are still in just a rapid meta. Even worse so, with almost every single rapid being able to proc systemly for free with little to no risk. This game is very unbalanced. You have Strike Deku having a ranged shotgun that does 120 damage up to like.
Strike Deku, I think, is much better. I think the health nerf is really what hit him hard, but I do think he could use a little more. Like, he should, again, the way he is, he should not be able to shoot people across the map with like a nuclear blast alpha. Like, that's not how it should be. 8 of them, by the way.
Like 130 damage if you order your tunes correctly and you pick the right costume. That is dumb, and yes, they did nerf him. They did not nerf his ass nearly enough. I don't care what you guys say about Hawks, he is still a problem.
Yes, I agree. Hawks is still a problem. I think the issue is with Hawks is just his kit is just too good. And, like, I do think if tuning wasn't as busted, I feel like Hawks wouldn't be as big of a deal. Or as big of a problem. I think that for a lot of characters. Again, this is my opinion, is again, I just think these characters, like, tuning is what is making them feel so over-tuned. I didn't see what I did there. If tuning was not so stupid, I feel like a lot of these characters really would not be, like, people would not have as many problems with them. I mean, again, like, I wish there was a mode to where you could fight people with no tuning, because then you could actually prove it to yourself if it's the case or not. But you know, there's nothing like that, so, you know, I mean, as someone who has used Hawks with no tuning, I think he's really, really good still, really annoying. So I do agree. I think even without tuning, I do think he still does need a little bit of nerfs, but I don't think he's, like, anywhere near as bad as he used to be. Which I guess is going against what I said, because I said he doesn't really have, he doesn't need. There are certain characters to where I think people think they're broken, and it's solely just because of tuning. Or I think a better way to describe it, tuning is making characters feel much stronger than they actually are. Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. So I think if tuning wasn't there, people's opinions on some of these characters would be different. But again, you can't. There's no, like, no tuning mode, so, you know. But no, I think it's just Hawks. His kit is too good. It's like they'd have to make him actually ass to make him, like, feel not broken or oppressive or anything. Again, they made his kit too good. They gave him too many strong abilities, and they would have to kind of, like, go in there and redo how his kit works to make him, like, balanced. Or again, just nerf him to the absolute ground. I wouldn't be opposed to that because I hate him so.
Needs more nerfs. He needs more nerfs. He is still way too strong. And I don't care what you say about his special. Yeah, they gutted his special action, but his base kit is still strong as hell. I do not care what you guys say. I know some people think Hawks is gutted, Hawks is trash. No, bro. Hawks is still insane. If you need...
Yeah, no, if you think Hawks is trash, no. You're just bad at the game. Hawks is still really good. Hawks, at the very least, right now is really good. Oh, he doesn't one-shot people. Oh, boo-hoo. I'm sorry that you have to can only play characters who are overpowered and can kill people in 2 hits. Maybe you can, like, I don't know, get some skill, try to, like, earn your kills, you know? Me, it's just me. But no, Hawks is still really, really good. He's not trash at all. Nope. He's not gutted, none of that. His special action's still stupid. The rest of his kit is still stupid. Nope.
More proof, just go ahead and look at the official tournament from a few weeks ago. You have Twice having an OTK combo from like full HP down to like half. He just does Gamma Alpha, Gamma Beta.
Literally, all they have to do, remove the tracking on Twice's Gamma. Boom, he's fixed. Oh, but that ruins my combos. I don't care. How about make it to where you can still do the combos, but you actually have to aim the Gamma? You know, like actually have it require some skill other than, cool, I pressed one button, now I get to kill you. That's my issue with it. See, I play Yellow Deku a lot. He has some, he does not, I don't think he has really any like 100 to 0 combos. I mean, maybe he does and I'm just bad, I don't know. And maybe he does on like certain characters' HP, like Rapids, like Mirio or something. But his combos is like, you grab some with the Black Whip, and then you can hit them with like, you know, some melees, some alphas, hit them with another Black Whip, hit them with melees, alphas, and then finish with like a snipe shot or a crouch shot. Wait, a snipe shot or his beta. But the thing is with that is you have to land his Gamma to do that, which is really hard to do. It's very hard to land his Gamma. Or again, another way you could do it is you can run up to people, melee them, and then grab them with the Gamma. If you don't have Sisterly, the risk with that though is you have to go in someone's face to do it, you know? But you know, with Sisterly, that's not really a thing. But if you're not using Sisterly, that's the risk, is you have to be in someone's face. And you could take a lot of damage if you're not careful. So like that's the risk reward of it all. Twice is literally just, I have 4 Gammas, so I have 4 pretty good chances of destroying you into oblivion. I have auto tracking, the tracking on it is stupid. The way his Gamma works is the initial hit of the Gamma like stun locks you, so you can't move, and then he hits you with the rest of the Gamma, and then he could do like his alphas, betas, whatever. Again, just make it to where it does not have auto tracking.
National. It's Alpha, Gamma, animation cancel it into Beta. That takes you from like 250 GP, 300 HP, all the way down to like 100 health. That's overpowered, that's broken. Oh, how could I forget Rapid fucking Toga. Rapid Toga is...
Rapid Toga should not... Okay, this is for both Togas, because I know both Togas do it, but Rapid Toga is just better. They should not be able to reset their cooldowns when they detransform. Their cooldowns should still be the same. And then on top of that, the fact that she can farm people for special actions and whatnot, you know, again, that also should not be a thing. I think all they gotta do is just add cooldowns to those, and she wouldn't be as bad as she is. But they have to actually do that.
It's extremely strong. You have her Gamma with her cooldown resets that does like 150 damage. You have her Beta, which is a hit stun. You have her Alphas, which are boomerangs. They also hit stun you. It's it's not fair. You have Strike Dobby. I think Strike Dobby's actually taken a bit of a back seat, but he's still strong as hell. But honestly, I'm kind of scared if they do nerf him anymore that he might become trash. But Strike Dobby, actually, don't even nerf him damage-wise or anything. Just nerf his beta tracking for the love of God.
Yes.
And...
agreed.
Like, it's the fact that his beta will still track to you even if you miss the kick, which...
Yeah, no, that's the thing that pisses me off. You can't dodge it. Because the game, it's like one of those moves to where it just is not dodgeable. You basically just have to not be close enough to him for him to hit it. It should be able to be dodged. it shouldn't be able to track you around the fucking corner. You know, like,
I think it's dumb because what is the point of the kick if the grab is still going to track towards you and do a complete 180? The kick should be a prerequisite for the grab to even connect. Like I said but 2 seconds ago, then what is the point of the kick? You have Ochako, which is basically an S tier, which with her Gamma, if she even is playing with her like 400 damage combo, she just does Gamma, Alpha, I think it's probably like Gamma, Alpha, Beta, Alpha, Gamma again, or just some stupid shit like that does like 400 damage, instant guard break if she has a beamer on her team, like Yellow Deku, Strike Shoto, Bakugo, anything like that. All Might, Present Mike, Danky. I mean, look for even Endeavor. She can just OTK people. Even Toga can help her pretty well.
yeah, because of purple Togas and sometimes rapid Togas alpha. Any character that just has an alpha to where their down potential is like really low, just like so beamers, just if you have really good players on your team and someone floats you, you're dead. So I do think Ochako needs some tuning. I don't. I think just maybe lower her HP back to 250. Because I do think HP nerfs matter a lot. I do think she needs something though. It's just she's in a weird spot to where like if they kind of like Stray Dobby, if they do something bad, she can end up being shit again. So it's a little hard to say with Ochako.
That combo too. Both Togas have really good alphas. It's just it's a problem, and this game's very unbalanced. Ida, I don't care what you guys say. Ida needs nerfs. His combos should not be doing a full guard break. His alpha.
I agree. Ida is doing a little too much there. I don't know how I would nerf Ida exactly, whether it be damage, reload speed, removing armor on his moves, or something like that. I don't know exactly what would be the best way to do it, but I do think he needs something done to him.
I think his alpha's fine. It's just the beta. The beta does way too much damage. You may look at his beta and just say 140 at level 9, that's not bad, but if you combo it, because Ida's combo game is so strong, one of the strongest in the game. You just do alpha, alpha, beta, you're at 10 shield. If they have tuning, your guard is broken. It's not fair. You can dodge him, sure, but you have to be locked in to dodge at Ida when he's in Recipro. If you mess up a roll even once, consider.
That's the thing. I think a lot of these things, like Ochako's Gamma, very easy to dodge. All for One's Gamma, very easy to dodge. Even in my opinion, I can consistently dodge Ida even in Recipro. His alphas are a little difficult. His betas, though, are pretty easy to dodge. But the thing is that only works if you're in a 1v1 situation, which in 90% of the time you are not. So you're going to be dodging someone else's bullshit. You're going to be focused on someone else, and then Ida's going to come out of nowhere and kick you in the back of the skull. And then you're dead. That's why it's a problem, is because of the fact that this is not a 1v1 game, unfortunately. If it was, then it wouldn't be as big of a deal, but it is. Wait. Yeah, I said that right, yeah. Yeah, so, most of the time you're not going to dodge it because you're going to be busy focusing on something else or dodging something else. And, Ida goes from being halfway across the map to inside of your asshole in like 2 seconds, so.
Consider your shield goodbye. And if he has embrittlement, he just does a tracking air melee, and then he just kicks you in the face. You have embrittlement. Then his beta goes from like 140 damage at level 9 to being like 170, and it's just this game is not balanced, man. It's it's a bunch of just really overpowered combos and really just a bunch of unbalanced gimmicks that, yeah, on one hand you can say it makes every character unique, but it also makes every character, not every single character, but it also makes some characters.
Back a while ago, I said that I wish this game did not have combos. This was when Mount Lady was like reigning supreme. I said this game should not have combos. Now, like, I do think combos can be fun. I just think they have to do better with, like, realizing how this game works with combos. Because you gotta take into consideration that other people can shoot at you when you're stuck in the combo. A combo means that you cannot move, you are there, and you are taking the full brunt of the character that is doing damage to you. You cannot move. You can still take damage. Everyone else can still shoot at you. That is the problem. And on top of that, there's a lot of combos that do way too much damage, that have way too much stagger, that can be repeated way too often. I feel like, again, Yellow Deku, his Gamma combo is a very good... I mean, maybe people disagree and they think it's broken, I don't know, but I think Yellow Deku's combo is a good way to look at like how combos should be. They cannot be repeated over and over again, they're hard to pull off, and they don't just instantly melt you. Or if they do, it is extremely hard to pull off, therefore that is your reward for being able to pull it off, you know? Iida's combo, easy to do. Shinzo's Alpha Beta combo, easy to do. Mount Lady's combo is pretty easy to do, to some extent. And that's the issue, is a lot of combos in this game are just mind-numbingly easy to do. If they were all like, actually like, okay, there's risk involved. If you screw this up, it could get you killed. If you don't land this, you know, you're out of charges for your movement ability, so now you can't go anywhere. You know, but in a lot of cases, that's not the case. It's just free eats.
Characters just really unbalanced, not fun to fight against, not engaging to play against, not... It doesn't equate to a fun experience, which is what gaming should be. But moving on from that, because I could honestly give you a rant for every single overpowered character, and you guys don't want that. Let's move on to skill sets being damn near S tiers. Every single skill set is at the very least A+. I don't care what you say. Yes, this includes Tech Denki. He is good, you guys. Give him a chance.
Yeah, Tech Denki is good. I think he's probably the weakest of the quirk sets, but he is good. Every quirk set is really, really good. Every quirk set. What it should be is, oh, the quirk set is comparable to the original character, but has a different playstyle. But that's not what it is.
He is A+ on a tier list. I don't care what tier list you make. He is A+. He is good. If it is not a matchup tier list, he is A+. I don't care if you put him at bottom of A+. I don't care if you put him at top of A+. He is nowhere below A+. He is a great character. He is a great skill set. Every single skill set is overpowered. Every single skill set could deserve some nerfs. And I know that I say that Red Kiri's bad. Red Kiri's bad, you guys. Red Kiri's not B tier. I'm gonna be honest. He's not B tier. Red Kiri's skill sets.
I hate Red Kirishima so much. It's because people who are really good with them, they just annihilate you. Because they can do alpha, alpha, beta, or alpha, alpha, gamma. By the way, he gets 5 gammas. Why does he get 5 gammas? He should not get 5. He should get 3 at most. Why does he get 5? Then you have to take in the fact, oh, he can get hard, so he takes less damage, and it's, you know, he has like hyper armor, super armor, whatever the hell on all of his moves. Like, I mean, luckily I've been fighting Red Kiri so much that I'm actually able to consistently dodge their beta. You know, when they hold up the shield and then they slam down, I'm actually able to consistently dodge that. But still, I hate him. He needs nerfed, please.
And people are recognizing that shit. I see more and more red Kyries every single day. People are picking up the character. They know he's strong. He's strong. Every single skill set needs a nerf, but not a single skill set should get nerfed before Red Deku. If a dev is watching this, nerf Red Deku before.
Yeah. I do wonder if he's going to talk about Rapid Bakugo. I think Rapid Bakugo is one of those weird instances to where I don't actually have a problem with him. I'm going to be honest, every Rapid Bakugo I have fought, I have not had an issue fighting against. And, you know, he's one of those characters to where if he does get caught, he's dead. Now, that being said, I do think they should remove his extra beta. You know, make it to where he only has 2 betas, and maybe make it to where he only has 1 gamma. I like having the 3 betas and the 2 gammas. If they really want to keep them, make it to where he gets them at level 4 or level 7 or whatever, not to where he has them immediately at the game start. I think that's a bit much. Maybe lower his alpha damage a little bit. But I do really like Rapid Bakugo. He's one of my favorite characters in the game because he's very, very unique. He has a lot of momentum-based movement options in his kit, which I think is really cool, and it makes him much different than Strike Bakugo, while still also keeping the spirit of the character. I think Rapid Bakugo is still like one of my favorite and one of the like key quirk sets that they should look for when they make quirk sets in the future. I don't think any other quirk set has really hit or felt as special as Rapid Bakugo to me. Again, I do think Rapid Bakugo, again, maybe the extra gamma and the extra beta is a bit much. Maybe lower the damage of his alpha a little bit. But there's no way he's like anywhere near like Strike Deku or Shinzo or Rapid Toga or Hawks or anything. No, I don't think so. Fighting him I've never had an issue fighting a Rapid Bakugo. Let me know in the comments if you have. I have never had an issue with it. Maybe like 1 or 2 times.
Before you nerf anybody else, I'm telling you this right now. Please, this is coming from me, from the cries, from the begs of every single person that has fought a Strike Deku. Nerf that character, please. He is too strong. He has been the best character in this game for almost an entire year, man. Almost an entire year. This character has ran this game every single month, over and over again, every single season, over and over again. No matter what new character you bring out, Strike Deku will always be better until you nerf him. And what I would do to nerf Strike Deku, I would nerf his range and I would nerf his damage. If you do anything else to him, that's going too far. Just nerf his range and nerf his damage, and I think Strike Deku will finally be balanced.
Yeah, I agree.
He will finally be that mid-range brawler that he was always meant to be. Yes, you can keep the aim-in mechanic to let his alpha go farther, but it should not double the range. It should not double the range and also increase the damage by that much. It is too strong. It is too much. He should not have a ranged shotgun. Since when have you ever heard of a ranged shotgun? Like, I know, like, not a ranged shotgun, a long range.
Dude has, like, Season 1 Fortnite shotgun. I think back in Season 1 or 2, shotguns in Fortnite literally had the range of, like, a sniper rifle. Which is stupid. That's literally what he has. He has sniper shotgun range.
Shotgun. That's what I should say. Now, moving on from characters being too strong, let's talk about characters that are too weak. I think All For One deserves some buffs.
Yeah, man, dude, All For One is such a fun character, and I know people are, but he's already good. If in the hands of a good player, he can be good, but like he needs something, man. He needs something. I don't know what it is exactly, but he needs something. Maybe revert his special action back to the way it was. or like revert one of the changes that they did that nerfed him, but he needs something, man. I don't think he needs like a lot, but he needs something.
All for One should not be less threatening than a fucking bird. All for One should not be less threatening than Kendo. All for One should not be less threatening than Ibarra. All for One.
That's actually another question I want to ask. For those who watch this entire video, no one's gonna watch this entire video. Um, do you think characters should be as strong based on how they are lore-wise, or just things should just be balanced? I think things should just be balanced, and maybe like slightly you can put it towards characters that are like strong lore-wise. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that.
Should not be less threatening than Ida. He is All for One. He should be strong, not broken, not unbalanced, but he should be really strong, which he is strong, but he's not what he once was when he first came out. What I think the one change that All for One needs is let him level up his quirks that he steals.
I think that would be actually a really good idea for him. Yeah, I like that idea. I think that would be a really, really good way to buff him. It would nerf and buff him in a way because you have to worry about getting more level up cards, but I think it would also add an interesting thing to it, because it would make him slightly different than, or even more different than Toga. Well, Toga can level up her stolen stuff too, but you don't get to keep it is the thing. Toga, regardless of whether you have her Gamma level 1 or 9, it doesn't last forever. It has a limited amount of time. So, I think, let All for One level up his quirks. I think that would be cool.
Let him level those up. And I think All for One is a contender for S tier. I'm gonna be honest. And just because a character is S tier does not mean they are overpowered and they are broken or anything like that. No, that's not what I'm saying. They're stronger than majority of the rest of characters, but that does not mean that they're broken. I just want All for One to have that fear factor, to truly be the fucking demon lord that he is, you guys. And correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the one change. If you do anything else to All for One, that's doing too much. Because we don't want him to be broken. We don't want him to be on par with Strike Deck or anything like that. We want the game to be balanced. We want the game to be an even playing field. Yes, some characters are going to be better than others, but we just don't want it to be stupid. We want it to be, we want the game to have a fair explanation to why this happened, to why that happened, and just whatever. Tech Dobby. Tech Dobby needs so many different things that the devs just refuse to buff this man. They don't buff this character nearly enough as they should. They buffed a lot of low tiers in previous patches, like Red Shoto, Red Shiggy, and those characters are great now. Honestly, Red Shiggy's finally A tier in my personal opinion. Red Shoto's A+. He's a great character now. He was struggling for a good
I will say, I don't think any strike character should have over 300 HP. That's my opinion. If you had to have one character have 350, strike Shiggy. I think every other strike character should have 300. Present Mike, Denki, they should, because they're not tanks, That's something that I just wanted to throw in there. I think Shiggy being at 350 is fine because of just, it's strike Shiggy. Shoto though, 350 might be a bit much. I don't know. But every other straight character, aside from those two, at the very least, 300.
4 or 5 seasons, but now he's doing really well. I think the final low tier that needs to be buffed is Tech Dobby, man. Tech Dobby, he needs his time. Give him armor on his Gamma. Give his alphas what do you call it? Faster travel speed and increased damage. I think if you do that, Tech Dobby is I think
Yeah, I think that would be fine. Give him armor and his gamma, because people can just hit you out of it, and I don't know. It's a, then you don't get a charge of it, and you're getting your ass beat, you know. And then yeah, his alphas like make them go faster, do a little more damage.
Tech Dobby will finally move up from the bowels of B tier. Every character puts this man at the very bottom of the tier list because he most likely is probably like the worst character in the game. Moving on to my next point, we need more communication from the devs.
Yes.
Every single time we get a balance patch, they simply say thank you for continuing to support MHUR, etc.
They need to do a balance patch, dev blog. I need them to be like every other week or every so often, just be like, hey, here's what we are currently working on in the game. Here's what we know needs fixed. This is the stuff we are working to improve the game. Just anything and everything to include more communication with the players. Because right now it is not good enough.
Etc. Etc. I'm tired of this message. I'm tired of this lack of communication from them. I'm tired of the lack of transparency. We need to know why changes are made in the ways that they are made. We need to know what the devs are thinking, why they do things, what they are thinking, what they envision this game to be. Because hell if I fucking know what the devs want this game to be. They do the most random shit out of nowhere, completely change the meta, and then or change it back and just have it be worse than it was before they changed it. The devs can never make up their mind on what they want this game to be. Sometimes it stays the same for like 4 or 5 months. Sometimes it completely shifts to an even worse meta than it was before. And we need communication. If a character is changed in a drastic way, hell, if a character is changed at all, we should get a 1 to 2 sentence explanation on why a character was changed in a way that they were changed. Because we need transparency between the developers and the players. We are the players playing your game, keeping your game alive, making you money. We need communication, or else people are gonna leave, and people are just not gonna stay here and can help you continue to make money. I don't think that's a crazy request. I think that that's very fair. Just talk to us, man. We need to know what's going on in the video game we are quite literally addicted to playing every single day. Now moving on to cheaters. Moving on to hackers.
Yeah, they need...
Yes, maybe the point...
They need to do something about the hackers. I do think it's the situation actually since crossplay has been better. I don't know if that's just because like there's a bunch of console players, so now it's kind of diluting the pool, so you're going to get less PC players, meaning less hackers. But I do think they need to start taking that a bit more seriously. That and people who decide to leave games constantly, do something about it. If my teammate decides to land halfway across the map, die, and then leave, penalize him. This is a team game. It's literally when you load into the fucking game, it says 3-player match. You are working and cooperating with your team. You are not playing solo. Team game. You want to do solo, go play the solo mode. Or wait for them to add solo ranked. But for now, yeah. They need to penalize people, because I want people to, like, I don't want to go into ranked and then like, oh cool, you know, I have no chance of winning now because my teammates left. Which, you would be like, oh, that doesn't happen that often though. No, it happens like every other game. Every other game. People will leave as soon as they die. Or because I didn't do exactly what they wanted me to do. Or because they decided to land halfway across the map and die and then leave because, I don't know, they're stupid. Like, they need to do something.
Point you probably bring up then, Emerald, you mod and this, that, and the third. I don't do it in real games. I do it in customs with my friends. People that join the customs know very well what they're getting into. No one minds, no one cares, because it's not in a real match. But cheaters and hackers, that have like one-shot hacks, increased range, infinite plus ultra, staying in storm, blah blah blah, infinite cooldowns, whatever the case may be. In real matches and ranked have been doing this and ruining the game since season 1. This is the problem. This needs to be fixed. What I think the devs need to do is that they need to check and verify your game files are not impacted and not tampered with before the game needs to be launched. It's what every other game with an anti-cheat does. We need to be able to fix the hackers. And moving on and segueing to a different point about hackers is that the top agencies on PC are all cheaters.
Yeah.
For example, if I click on this Skibidi Toilet agency right now, my game will crash and take me to the title screen.
And also, on top of that, there's 2 people in that agency. 2. Wow, you're the biggest agency and there's only 2 of you? Wow, you guys must play the game a lot. No, cheaters.
Crash and take me to the title screen. They are hackers, they are cheaters, they are climbing their way to the very top of the agency because they are hacking and they are cheating.
Actually,
and
like
their
that.
points are not.
I like that title screen he has. I like the Ultra Impact art and the purple. Cool. Makes me wish they did that, but you know, like again, I'm asking for too much.
Real. Let me just go back into the game and show you guys these guys' points in comparison to everyone else's. I don't even know what number this is. I think it's quadrillion or even quintuple or something like that. But look at these guys' points compared to everybody else's. I'm pretty sure these top 5 agencies are all cheaters, and then everyone else is normal. But I know for a fact this agency is cheating. It's crazy how they have 9 people out of 35, and they're top 5 in the world, which is insane. Yeah, this is 2 out of 18 people, and they have the most in the world. Unless these people play 24 hours a day, all day, every day, winning every single match, this is not possible.
Even then, it's not possible.
But yeah, these agencies are cheaters. Cheating needs to go. I'm not saying modding needs to go, because I like making mods, but to be honest, if they fix cheating, modding is gonna get fixed too. Shut up, Shiggy. But yeah, cheating needs to go, and unfortunately modding will go with it if they do decide to fix cheating. But you know, it's all for the greater good. If modding goes, I understand. Cheating needs to go. If I can't do my mods, just take cheating. Take it. Just take both if you have to.
Yeah, I think, like, if them getting rid of cheating means them getting rid of modding, I think they should do it. I know people are going to be upset about that, but I think it's just going to be better for the game. You know, eventually they'll add all these quirk sets and characters and costumes you guys want, you know, that you're modding into the game. It's not going to feel the same, and you have to wait, and you have to pull it, but I think just if getting rid of modding means completely getting rid of cheating, then I think they should do it. I think it's just going to be better for the game.
But yeah. Now for my final point about balancing, and then after this we're going to talk about game modes, then we're going to talk about matchmaking, and then we're going to finish off the video there because I've been talking for quite a while. But if you guys did not know, some moves are affected by FPS. I'm gonna put a video on screen. My good friend SB, I'll link his channel in the description.
So dumb. Shouldn't be the case.
Actually lasts, I think, quadruple the time it does on Nintendo Switch than it does on PC, because they have 30 FPS and PC has 120 FPS and above. This is not okay. FPS should not be affecting certain skills in the way that they do. Also on Twitch, I'm pretty sure Yellow Deku's beta has like no startup, and PC we have the normal startup and everything. And also, if you guys did not know, Twice's Gamma has increased range on lower FPS than he does on PC, which makes a lot of sense because I never understood why everyone complained why Twice was as good as he was, is because his Gamma has so much range on console.
I'm sorry, it can... Dude, this should not be a thing. No.
And on PC, he does not nearly have that much range. His Gamma range is probably the same as like Mount Lady's Alpha on, actually no, worse than Mount Lady's Alpha on PC, but on lower FPS, the lower FPS you go, the more range you get with Twice Gamma. So that's why Twice is so good on console, but he's not as good on PC. He's still great, still an amazing broken character, but on console, he's way more busted. Moving on to game modes. We have had the same type of game modes going on in this game for, I'm pretty sure, around 1.5 years, going on 2 years in September. This is, we need variety. We need variety. We need something to be changed. We need a new event. We need solos to get up out of here. We have had solos for way too long. We need duos back. Bring in another ranked mode. Bring in ranked duos or something. I know you can't split up the player pool that much, but actually, yes, you can. There's crossplay now, so it shouldn't matter, right?
Yeah,
right?
Now that crossplay is a thing, I do think the gateways are open for more modes. I think, like, again, they have a King of the Hill mode, like, in, I don't know how that would work exactly, but could be fun. Do a boss mode. It's like, oh, but what? Gee, there's only like 50 bosses they could choose from in My Hero. You know, every villain from every main villain from every movie. Like overhauls, transformed form. I could just throw freaking All For One in there, cause you know he'd still work. Nomu, like a Nomu mode where there's a bunch of Nomus you have to fight. Like they can do different things, you know. They have a lot to pull from. They just haven't. And again, if the issue has been, well, the player pool isn't that big. Well, we have crossplay now, so I don't want to hear that excuse. And if the player pool isn't big enough, it's because y'all refuse to fix the game and make it better.
It shouldn't matter.
The devs, not the players.
It should not matter at all. But we're going to talk about crossplay too when we get into matchmaking for a little bit too. But yeah, there has been leaked game modes since I think season 4, 3, or 5 about leaders battle game mode, and we have had the information has been scrubbed from the files and re-added back over and over again for just an endless amount of time, and I'm getting tired to the point where, man, I'm tired of just getting on the game and only having the options of either going into training, labbing stupid shit, going into customs, or going into ranked. Because unranked is dead. Unranked is mostly bots. It always has been, to be honest. Unranked sucks. I don't play unranked. But ranked, it should not be the only game mode where you can go in, get a decent lobby, and have a little bit of fun. We need a different game mode. We need variety. And this game is going to get very stale if we continue on like this for another 6 months to a year. We need a new game mode. And for the anniversary, or even just the soonest possible season, we need something new, something different. I don't care if you guys add a death battle. I don't care if you guys add a fucking King of the Hill. Add something new. We need something new. Also, I would like to point out before I move on to matchmaking, is that we have had the same 4 events since the very beginning of the game. I'm pretty sure we have the drop event, we have the agency event, we have the mission event, and what other event do we have? I forget the third event, but I'm pretty sure it's 4 of them. It's either 4 or 3, but we have had the same.
We have mission, agency, battle, and drop. Those are the 4 events we have in the game. Which, yes, they could do a lot more with them. I think the events are really, really basic. I think they could do more and make them more engaging and fun, and maybe increase the rewards. You know.
Events in rotation since the very beginning of the game, and we always start, like everyone knows, we always start a season with a drop event.
Like, again, they could do mode specific for the events, or map specific, or character specific. Like, they could do some cool stuff, like maybe an all Cementos mode for one of the events or something, and it's just like a mode to where you get put on the map, and it's like a 1 player, or it's like 24 teams or 24 players, and it's free for all of all Cementoses. Or just something like that would be very simple too. But they could do even more than that. Like, again, the Nomu mode, like where you have to fight off a bunch of Nomus that are scattered around, or defend certain points. Like, they could do so much. They just don't. Like, this game could be so good. And it upsets me that they just, like, literally, it's like someone gave them gold and then they said, oh, that's pretty cool, and then they put it in the trash.
Then we move on to like the mission event, then we move on to something else, and then like the season after, I think we do like an agency event, and then it's the same stuff, same recycled garbage over and over and over again. Trash skins, we get some crystals, we get some voice lines, we get some emotes.
I think the skins have gotten a little better because they're starting to use more like the 100 mil skins, like the actual like normal skins, not just crappy recolors. They still have crappy recolors in there, but they're starting to throw in more like actual original skins, which I think is good. And also, yeah, can we get more emotes, please? Like, we get 1 emote a season. There's like 40 characters in this game that do a lot of things in the show. We can get more than 1 emote a season. Same with voice lines.
We get some gallery points, we get some agency points, we get some gold. Also, touching on gold, gold is useless.
What, you don't enjoy spending gold on custom presets, which I didn't even know existed until like a few weeks ago when I spent all my gold on every preset. By the way, still have too much gold. I legit, everything you can buy with gold, I have bought. And I'm at 2 million. Give gold a use, please.
Everyone I know has at the very least like 2 million gold and nothing to do with it because it is worthless, and nothing equates to the amount of surplus gold that everyone has. We need something to spend our gold on. It's a useless currency that no one cares for and everyone has an abundance of because there's nothing good and worthwhile to spend it on. But finally, to finish this video off, let's talk about matchmaking, you guys. There is currently a really bad shadow ban bug going around that if you get too high of a rank, or I'm pretty sure it just happens randomly even if you don't meet that prerequisite, that you'll just randomly get shadow banned for no reason at all. And you cannot play the game. I've seen comments on Twitter saying people cannot play the game for like over 2 weeks because they're shadow banned, and it'll just say no players found. And if you have crossplay on, that should not be a thing. Crossplay should have fixed shadow bans, or like random shadow bans, or just like getting too high rank early in a season because of the access to the larger player pool. PC, we make up like barely even 1/4 of the entire player pool because we did not have 3 other consoles to pick from. We now have Xbox, PS4, PS5, and Nintendo Switch, and I did not get a single non-bot game in Expert for the entirety of this season. And in my Shinso to Ace Rank video, I could not include a single game in Expert because it was just bots, and I'm not including bot matches in my videos because that's not enjoyable for me to edit, and that's not enjoyable for you guys to watch, so I didn't include them. And yeah, Uh, Matchmaking is very bugged. Matchmaking could stand to be a lot more balanced, to be honest. It really could. Because there are some lobbies that I get into where there are some gold players in a lobby full of ace ranks, and that's not fair in the slightest.
Yeah.
To be honest, that's not fair in the slightest. They have no experience with the game, or at the very least, they have no experience with ranked. They should not be fighting against top tier opponents and top tier players. And that's not fair for them. That's not enjoyable for me to fight noobs. It's just not a fun and an engaging gaming experience all around.
Yeah.
And the final point about matchmaking that I'll make, and I'll close off this video, is that before someone can play ranked, I think there should be a level requirement.
だけ万端だがレベル1じゃラスボスは倒せない
Shiggy agrees.
Are you done, Shiggy? Okay. But yeah, I think there should be a level requirement to play ranked in this game, because it's very annoying when you're queuing up for ranked and you get a teammate that you see is like level 2 on the notebook and they don't know how to play the game. They're playing Yellow Deku because it's the only character they can play, and they're queuing into ranked immediately and they have no idea what they're doing, and they probably skip the tutorial.
Yeah, probably.
I think the level requirement should at the very least be like level 10, level 15, level 20, something like that. Take a page out of Rivals book, Marvel Rivals. Because it's not noobs that just started the game 5 minutes ago should not be queuing into ranked. But anyways, you guys, that's the very last thing that I want to talk about. I think I mentioned everything. I think I touched on a lot of good points. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you stuck to the end, let me know what you guys think. And even if you didn't stick to the end, let me know what you guys think anyway. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys take advantage of this hashtag that I'm starting, because stuff needs to change for this game. Anyways, I'm gonna go. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Use the hashtag, spread it around. Share this video. If you guys aren't gonna make content of yourselves, share the video. But anyways, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching, and I'm out. Bye.
Thank you for making Mr. Morale. I'm gonna give you a like and I'm a sub. I'm not gonna turn on bell though, because I'm probably not gonna watch your videos, but that's nothing against you that like, and I literally just don't watch streamers or YouTubers that much anyway. Yeah, here's no, it's outing me. My recommended is outing me. How could it? But anyhow, yeah, I think that was a good video. I think he touched on pretty much everything that needs to be touched on in the game. Again, I could sit here and talk about the game and everything I'd fix for hours upon hours upon hours upon hours. I just love the game. The game is great. At its core, it is fun as hell, and it's a good good representation of the My Hero franchise. It's just, again, like I said earlier, it's like someone handed them a piece of gold and they could have turned it into the most beautiful, like, necklace, ring ever, and they decided to throw it in the trash, is basically how it feels with this game. And I think Morale made a lot of good points. I agree with most of the points he made, pretty much. Again, make sure you go subscribe to him, like him. Again, he does videos more often than I do. But thank you, Morale, for the 2 hour and 20-minute video. I'm including all this in. I don't care. You're getting a 2 hour, 20-minute video of me reacting to Morale, reacting to his thoughts on My Hero Ultra Rumble, and then if I'm lucky, maybe Morale will react to my reaction of his reaction to his opinion. Wait, he'll react to my reaction to his opinion, and then we can just keep going back and forth. Nah, probably not, especially because this is 2 hours. But thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. Again, make sure to check the description. I will have a link to this video. Go support Maro. I mean, again, I literally just sat here just giving some of my own comments and commenting on stuff he said. He put all the work into it. I didn't really do anything except sit here and talk. I mean, my voice is about to give out, but that's about it. So, yeah. I think that's about it. Love you guys. Have a good day or night, wherever it is where you are, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.